I want to drag us back to my thoughts. I know, right? Crazy. So I just want to write down, I want to go through some of the questions. We don't have to answer them now. I actually don't want to, but I just wanted to show you kind of what my initial thoughts were. And then also, just kind of, I'll read some of the definitions that I kind of came up with and talk more with you about that. So my initial thoughts were, 1, what are emotions? 2, what colour are emotions? 3, can emotions be physical? 4, emotional eating. Can emotions be actually eaten? Meta, right? Why do people hide their emotions? What is the effect of hiding emotions? Can emotions be truly shared? And is hiding emotions a predominantly masculine thing? So some of the ideas we kind of discussed already, but thoughts?
What was the first question?
What are emotions? I mean, I think that for me is more about, I want to kind of go back and actually write down all the different emotions that you can have. Maybe
the general consensus around emotions is that there's only really 4.
Oh yeah. What
is the mad, bad, glad, sad kind of thing, and they all into some way or other kind of
I like that
fit into that. There's loads of emotions. I think the thing that blew my mind the most was that you can feel several emotions at the same time. That blew my mind when someone explained that was a thing.
I definitely do that.
And also that you can experience conflicting emotions at the same time, i.e. excitement and fear at the same time.
Yes.
I don't think you can... Was it one of the questions about passing on your what was it?
Sharing. I knew you were going to immediately, as soon as I wrote it down, I was like, she's going to have an opinion on this. Can you share your emotions?
I don't think you can share. I don't think you can share your emotions in the sense that if I had a piece of bread, I could share that loaf of bread with you. I think that there might be a time where you would buy the same brand of bread as me, and we'd be in that way sharing, in that you have the exact emotion that I have. But I don't think I can make you feel an emotion, and I don't think you can make me feel an emotion. I don't think people can make people feel emotions.
I don't agree.
And I think the fact that people think that that's a thing, that this person made me feel angry. Yes, that person made you feel angry, but you chose to feel angry. Okay. So it's that kind of thing where, like, there's been a few, again, I'm going back to I'm going back to my conversations with my grandpa when I was much older. And he'd be annoyed at something not working, and he'd be yelling and screaming and kicking things and all that sort of stuff. And I'd be like, Gramps, you're trying to give me a gift here, and your gift is anger, and I'm not buying it. I don't want it. God. So you carry on raging around the place, kicking things, and you let me know when you actually want to fix this, and then I'll show you how to use your computer. Like, stop it, basically. Like, by all means, but don't expect me to start yelling back at you, because that's what you want. You want this fight, and I'm not fighting. Like, I don't. Whatever you're trying to make me feel, I'm not buying it. I don't want it. So you go do you for a bit, and then come back when you want to. Like, it was always to do with his computer as well. I remember once he phoned me once, telling me that his computer was possessed, right? And it was because he was using Microsoft Word, and he'd got to this point where it's so difficult to talk about my grandpa without explaining him fully.
Yeah.
So my grandpa was like, he went through this whole thing of trying to find the religion for him. Like and I'm not talking about like he just read a couple of books and stuff. Like, he'd spend a year with that religion, trying to be that religion and find out if he could do that.
Like those actors that like live.
Yeah,
in
like
the
method act. Yeah. He would method religion. Is that a thing? I don't know.
It is now.
But anyway, he would do that, and as he was getting older, also he used to practice magic as well. And when I mean magic, I don't mean card tricks. I mean spells. He was a warlock, basically.
Which is like so funny because it's like the whitest thing immediately comes to my head, but your grandfather was black, so
yeah.
A black warlock, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a black warlock in Charmed. Charmed? Oh no, I think that's a demon. They're demons. Did you ever watch Charmed? No.
I think I've watched it.
Oh, right.
It was a bit too cheesy for me.
Sorry. So, okay.
I was more Buffy than Charmed.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Not like you have to choose one or the other.
So this really badass black warlock in a leather long jacket.
So he started feeling like he needed to type up these spells and categorize them.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So he bought this laptop with Microsoft Word and he started typing up these spells. Now, of course, I mean, there's different gods. There's Egyptian gods, all this sort of stuff. So occasionally, and different, like, you've got like the item, like the knife, like that they use. Like, so there's terminology, jargon then, to do with witchcraft that isn't necessarily going to be in the dictionary of Microsoft Word. So he's typing this stuff. He's typing this stuff into his computer. Also, he's got like extreme rheumatoid arthritis to the point where his hands are gnarled and deformed. And he's
honestly, when I post this, I'm just going to do like an illustration of my interpretation of your grandfather with his gnarled hands and his warlock. He's going to have a hat and he's had a computer and then it's just going to be like computer says no.
Yeah, so he's there, so he's typing this stuff up, and obviously, occasionally, he's going to type in a god or an object or terminology of witchcraft that Microsoft Word is just not, it hasn't adapted to that yet. It doesn't know. Maybe it does now, I don't know, but back then it didn't, okay? So, inevitably, that squiggly red line would happen underneath these words.
Okay, yeah, because we're not even in like... that's not in the age of you press enter and then
you can put it
and
in.
it rewrites itself or anything.
You can't add it
oh
in.
My gosh, yeah.
And also, not only was there the occasional red squiggly line,
was there the box?
Sometimes there was the green squiggly line as well. Now, trying to correct my Grampy's grammar.
Blue.
Oh, okay.
She's colourblind. This is how we found out.
Someone who quotes sonnets and prides himself on his ability, his bard-like quality. So he was not happy with this. And in his head, the best way he could describe it is his computer has been possessed. Because this is one of the things with my Grampy, right? If something didn't go his way, it wouldn't be that something didn't go his way. It would be that the world had orchestrated the weather or whatever it was that went wrong to mock him. Like, it was never...
And I genuinely agree.
It was never just like, didn't go my way. Like, it was always this
pathetic fallacy,
and that would be what he would rage at. Then this how me? How dare they? Like, this kind of thing.
Oh,
anyway,
no, it's not pathetic fallacy. Sorry, I got it wrong.
Weather, isn't it?
It's weather or the
you mean
the environment reflecting your emotions. So it's almost cyclical, and so like how he, it's happening to him and making him angry, and vice versa. Yeah. Carry on. It's all right. So
that was happening, and he picked up the book and he's showing it to the computer. And he's raging at the computer. See, this is how it's spelt. I'm spelling it correctly. And don't correct my grammar. This is exactly as it is in the book. So he would be, and it is pointless. Like I even when I became a better version of myself,
when you grew up,
when I learned how to manage emotions better, and stopped avoiding these kind of situations, where normally I just kind of walk out the room or just stand there and just go somewhere else in my mind whilst this was happening and he was kicking off and stuff. I'd actually have conversations with him to try and, much in the same way that my mum used to do when I was younger. What's happened? What's going on?
Talking to a 4-year-old. What's the matter?
It did not work with him.
Oh, interesting.
You'd have to let him
Rage.
Tucker himself out, basically.
Oh, like a toddler.
Like a toddler. You would. You just have to let him shout, scream, do whatever he needed to do. And then once he was tired, then you could show him what needed to be done or why that was happening. And even when I explained everything, he was like, well, it's not right. And I was like, no, it's not right. You're absolutely right. It's not right. But that is what is happening. And there's no way of getting. What I would suggest is you just ignore it. Or if you want, I can switch it off. Switch it off. I was like, it won't pick up if you spell it. I never spell anything. Okay, fine. So we just switched it off. And that's how we dealt with that situation. So I think that is an example of a person, and what I mean by, if you don't learn how to manage your emotions, you better be hopeful that you're surrounded by people who will love you anyway. Because had I not been his granddaughter and not come from a family where we accept someone, flaws and all, I think my grandpa could have been a very lonely man. I think there are plenty of other situations that he could have been in that he would have been more lonely, because he never learned how to deal with that.